All right, let's talk about Drake Maye. He is 23 years old. He's 35 days older than Dan Marino was when Marino became the youngest quarterback ever to start in a Super Bowl. So no matter how well he's played this year, he was close to winning the MVP. This is not an easy task for someone this young.
No, unprecedented, right? I mean, besides Dan, no one's ever really been in this place before to be this young. I mean, there's quarterbacks in college older than this kid, and here he is playing for the Lombardi, right? And the magnitude of that in the 2 weeks, and you mentioned it here, he's living out of a hotel, and they're practicing at Stanford or San Jose State or wherever. And then how is he going to react to this? And I think somebody that he's going to rely on heavily today that has done an unbelievable job all year is Josh McDaniels. This guy is coaching in his 9th Super Bowl. 9th. He's calling plays for the 6th time in the Super Bowl. Those are the most in history, right? And Drake Maye talked about his offensive coordinator and what he means to him.
Watching old plays and installing plays that they ran is one of the coolest things that we do. I think just seeing how fast he gets the ball out, it's cool to watch that position. I'm playing the same offense, calling some of the same play calls that he called, and playing for the same offensive coordinator.
Well, here he is. There he is. Josh McDaniels, his offensive coordinator, right, running the same plays that Tom Brady ran. And this is one of Tom Brady's favorite plays. Haas wide juke. What do you know? It's the Super Bowl 53. Who was calling plays? Josh McDaniels.
He was,
what are we going to do? We get a lot of cover 2 by Seattle. Right here, it's Edelman working on a Mike linebacker. What do you know? Easy pitch and catch. The 15-yard catch and run. Right, ball out of your hands. Again, you're going to see it. We go to this year. Right here it is. Haas wide juke. What do you know? Showing up again. This time it's Stephon Diggs working on the Mike linebacker. And again, Drake Maye running it. It's so easily to isolate these matchups. They're going to have opportunities for this today.
So hard.
Here he is again.
So hard.
Ball out fast. I mean, the easiest 15-yard pass of your life. And again, you're going to see it today, right? Josh McDaniels. Don't be surprised if you see that play out here on this field. It matches up well with Seattle. But again, just that experience, right? These guys have been here. Mike Vrabel's been in 4 Super Bowls. They're unfazed by everything that comes with this, and I think that'll have a calming effect on Drake Maye.
Well, you know, it's funny you mentioned that. You may see that 20 times. Yeah. All right, I've gone against this guy, like literally, that's what he does. That, and he'll run snag wheel. It's funny how the game, everybody says how it changed. It's the exact same. And when you're seeing Josh McDaniels, who, by the way, won the Assistant Coach of the Year, and rightfully so, what a job he's done. But it's still 11-on-11 football, and it's amazing how you can plug this young quarterback in, and all of a sudden now, sure, Brady did it because he was there for 100 years. This guy's in his 2nd year of playing. It's absolutely amazing how he does. And the thing, though, that we saw in the regular season, all right, he took 47 sacks, all right, but they had 82 explosives. This postseason, though, something's been a little off. Obviously, the weather's contributed, but he's taken 15 sacks and only has 13 explosives. He's going, in my opinion, against as good a defense as we've seen in a long, long time in this Seattle Seahawks. So this matchup's going to be incredible.
You know, Alex, you was just talking about Josh McDaniels, his 9 appearances. And I look in a game like this, experience versus inexperience. And one thing that Drake Maye has, he has that experience in his coach and Josh McDaniels. You just put that Haas wide juke up there. It's not only a guy like Stephon Diggs, it's a committee that they have. They have guys on the outside they can do it. They have guys on the inside can do it. You talked about a guy, you showed Julian Edelman, you showed Diggs, but you can't forget about Booty and Douglas. We started the show out earlier talking about the rookie phenom for the Seattle Seahawks, the safety, Emma Warrior. He is battling an injury. One thing that I know Josh McDaniels and them going to understand, they've had 2 weeks to prepare for this team. If this man's ankle is bad, I want you to watch the mixed match and see if they can exploit that bad ankle.
Yeah, and I think personality-wise for Josh, what he's been for Drake has been totally special because the interaction on the sideline with I mean, when Drake said, good God, this is hard, I wanted to say, of course it's going to be hard, man, let's go. But what Josh gave him, because right before that, Vrabel came up and he's like, okay, we're going to keep chipping away. You got to use your legs. We're going to run the football. I got to go. I'm the head coach. I got to go. Then he confided in Josh, and Josh gave him exactly what he needed in that moment emotionally to get him right up in the head. So that, I think personality-wise, the Vrabel, McDaniel, I mean, all the coaches that have coached him up this year have done a great job.
You said an interesting thing also when we were talking about them leading into this game, which is Dan Marino. I'm old enough to remember when he lost that game against San Francisco. We all thought, oh, my goodness, he'll be back in this thing 5 or 6 times.
Oh, man.
You just never know. So the idea that it's house money because he's so young, that's that's a mentality they have to guard against.
They cannot think that. They have to think this is the only chance that they will ever have, because coming back is not a guarantee. You don't know what next year is, and I know what New England's thinking. Oh, the future's bright. Vrabel's here. We've got a young quarterback. Believe me, that doesn't matter. This may be the shot. They have to capitalize on this today.
Yes, sir.
Young man,
yes, sir.
nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
We'll kick it around a little bit.
Pretty
This
cool.
will be more fun.
Let's do it.
Man open, Jaxon Smith-Njigba. With his body language, you just can't get a beat on him.
He can see it in my eyes. I'm ready for the ball.
Jax does an unbelievable job of getting open. Just a very friendly receiver to be able to throw to.
He's like an ice skater out there when I see him run routes. A lot of receivers, when they run, if they're speeding up or stopping, their shoulder planes will rise or fall. He maintains the same shoulder plane when he runs his route. It's really hard for any defensive back to get a beat on what he's doing.
Is he sneaky fast? Is he sneaky elusive? Is he
He's
sneaky?
kind of like sneaky all the above.
Okay,
you know?
sneaky.
Yeah, like
One of
sneaky
those
can run
guys.
past you. Sneaky in and out of the breaks. I mean, his body control is ridiculous. Ball skills. I mean, he has everything, you know, and it's a heck of a total package.
He's unlike many people that I've played with where, you know, his body language is so friendly. You know, I totally understand kind of where he's going to run a route and what to expect from him coming out of a route. But at the same token, like, the defense just can't predict it.
Jaxon Smith-Njigba is just so good at the move point. He's just so fluid. You just don't know what he's doing.
He was just here and he said, you know what about JSN? He's got great body language. Is that a big part of it?
Oh yeah, I mean, just it falls under communication. You know, communicating without verbal communication. Like, he can see it in my eyes. Like I'm ready for the ball. You know, when I stop my head, he's gonna know that I'm ready for the ball. And just seeing things before it really happens. You know, honestly.
It's a good thing for a receiver to have that ability.
Darnold going up top for Jaxon Smith-Njigba. Drops it in the bucket.
JSN going up against the safety. That's what you want. You're done. You're in trouble right there.
The thing about Jax is I feel like he's never running full speed. So when he is running, you know, a defender might think, oh, he's running full speed. And then if the ball's a little out in front of him, Jax is able to speed up, you know, to his full speed and go get the ball.
And Njigba gets on the toes of the DB. It just says, see you later. I'm faster than you.
Jaxon, what's the best part of your game?
I would say just to be a problem solver. You know what I'm saying? You know, whatever look there is, whatever is going on, like, I'm going to be at the right spot at the right time. You know, I'm going to be open for my quarterback and problem solving, whether that's man, whether that's zone, you know, just making it right, we like to say here.
Great to have Boomer a part of this, and I was enjoying watching you, Randy, watching Jaxon Smith-Njigba. There's stuff in that I think maybe not all fans understand about that nonverbal communication and that body language.
Well, the one thing I took from him talking to Boomer, he's just talking about he's a problem solver. One thing that he really meant from that, when you're the number one wide receiver, you get all these defenses thrown at you, double, triple, single, however, but you're still somewhere, so there's still somebody hovering over the top for you. But one thing that I look at Jaxon Smith and what he's been able to do is his body language. Coach McDonald said the complete package. I want y'all to look at these two defenders trying to cover him. Look at his upper body versus his lower body. His upper body is just showing the head, but his lower body is still moving at a high speed. Look at the secondary defender for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So today, starting this show out, do you know why I said that Christian Gonzalez better follow this man to the bathroom, Rex?
Yeah.
Because the thing about it, if it's play action, if it's drop back, Sam Darnold is looking for JSN. One thing that Sam Darnold, Alex, can't afford to do, you can't be late with those throws, but this man is going to create separation tonight. The question is the ball coming on time?
No question. And JSN brings so much energy to this offense. This is a guy that when he gets the ball in his hand is electric. I don't care if it's a one-step hitch in the run game. This guy can do a lot with the ball in his hands. And you're right, he doesn't have many weaknesses. I've been so impressed with the intensity that he's played with all year, right? Like, he's never taken a week off. He has continually showed up for his team. And you're right, he's going to have to problem solve today because 2 weeks to prepare. What are the Patriots going to throw at him? They're certainly aware of what he's done and going to try and take it away.
And then let's turn the topic to Darnold here. Obviously, it's one of the most remarkable stories that we have ever seen. Alex said, Jason, off the top of our show, if he wins this game, it is probably the greatest resurrection story that we've ever seen in football.
Yeah, I mean, we just showed a clip about underdogs. I mean, you can't have a guy that's been more of that in his career. And listen, he started off as a high first-round pick. To fight your way back like that, I mean, it's remarkable. And especially last year, you have the season you do, then you're discarded again. And then you're here to have the year that he's had, the way he's played in the playoffs. It's been truly inspiring, for sure.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And the thing that I think of is this. It always goes back to be a champion, you got to believe in yourself when nobody else does. That is this guy right here. All the teams pass on him. 4 teams pass on him. The Vikings, you're right, he wins 14 games. They get rid of him. Look at this year in free agency. Hey, Steelers, you think you wish you would have taken this guy? Yeah, you probably do. How about the Jets? Get him back? Yeah, probably. How about the Raiders? You glad you made that trade for Geno Smith? I don't think so when this guy was out there for every single team. Nobody believed, but he believed, and that's it. He has it in here. He's not at this spot if he doesn't go through the trials and tribulations that he has. That's what makes this kid so special. And Alex Smith, you're right. He wins this thing. Oh, my goodness. The greatest story
I got to
ever.
ask Alex Smith a question. They put that chart up, and you talking about all those Hall of Famers on that list. What are you trying to say, Mr. Smith?
Just look at the company. I mean, those are guys we know on a first-name basis. Tom and Pat and Troy and Terry, right? Like, come on, it's Sam. That's crazy, right? We haven't talked about him like this. And I think his mindset and perspective is what is so unique. To go through what he's gone through and to keep the courage that he plays with, right? Like, I feel I've been there. I envy that. I didn't have that. Like, and I'm not sure many people do. To go through that again, and the way he played a couple weeks ago in the NFC Championship game, the Rams were the team that had really given him fits this year. They knocked him out of the playoffs last year in Minnesota, kind of sent him on this trip. I mean, and he played, again, fearlessly. Big throw after big throw, the one you put up there over the middle, 3 touchdowns, 300 yards, right? Again, I think it shows up today. This guy seems so unfazed by everything he's been through. It's remarkable.
Yeah, he played the biggest game of his career in the biggest game of his career. Now this one tops that, and we'll see if he's able to do it. All
Best coaches. I tell you what, a lot of players are satisfied being good, okay? The best coaches make their players better, make them want to be better, all right? And when I look at this, the sign of a great coach is, does his players improve? Every single player, every single player on this football team got better. And that's coaching, that's acceptance, that's wanting to be great. That's what the best coaches do. And Mike Vrabel, in my opinion, it was a slam dunk coach of the year.
Sal Paolantonio has been with Vrabel this entire week as he has been embedded with the Patriots. What's that been like? What have you seen from the Patriots coach this week, Sal?
Well, Michael, the reason why Mike Vrabel has had this transformation overnight for the New England Patriots and why he is the coach of the year in the National Football League, he's a great communicator, as he just showed in that great piece with Teddy Bruschi. He really sets the tone, sets the message day in and day out. I watched it here during Super Bowl week, just in the last 3 days. On Friday, after practice was over, he said, our work week is not done. And then on Saturday, we're going to fine-tune the game plan. But also, as you can see behind me, friends and family are here at the team hotel with the New England Patriots. They're walking to breakfast behind me. This is something that he told his team. Not only do I want you mentally and physically ready, but I want you to reconnect with the ones that you love. I've covered a lot of Super Bowls, especially with the Patriots. I've never seen where the friends and family are so involved in the pregame operation, so much so that yesterday, when they went to Stanford to take the team picture, they brought the families with them. And then with Drake Maye, I asked him one-on-one, what will your message be to Drake Maye going into this game? Do you have to remind him about turning the football over, or is it a given? He said, oh, no, it's going to be right up to game time. I want him to be aggressive, but don't be reckless with the football. So great communication. You saw it with that piece with Teddy Bruschi. All I remember is after that third Super Bowl with Vrabel and Bruschi looking at me and going, Sal, That's 3, Sal. That's 3.
And this one would be
right,
7 for this organization. And Randy, obviously, Vrabel, such a huge part of it as a player, and now we see what he's doing as the coach.
One thing about it, we started the show, and I think Schefter was just talking about Mike Vrabel and what he did the week of the Super Bowl. Brew, you were just talking about his impact as a coach. I've been rooting for Mike Vrabel ever since he was an Ohio State Buckeyes. He played college with my late brother. So what I talk about his impact, I remember earlier in the season when Mike Vrabel, they had an image of Mike Vrabel putting on that dummy and had the defenders hitting the dummy. And so one thing I asked you, I said, Brew, what does this mean to the defense when you have your head coach out here demonstrating to you and letting you be right here and letting you be physical with him? One thing about it, this right here I knew was going to be able to pay dividends down the road for the New England Patriots in this defense. You know why? Because they have to stop Kenneth Walker in this running game by the Seattle Seahawks. So today, with all the physicality that I knew that Mike Vrabel was going to bring back to this organization, I guarantee there's one thing they're going to do today, Rex, and that's set that edge.
Oh, yeah, no edge, no chance in the running game.
Jason, let's talk about him. He seems like, just knowing you and getting to know you as I am, he seems like the kind of coach that you would like. If he's the first one into the scrum and getting bloodied, and if he's putting on the dummy, seems like something that you would appreciate.
Any coach that's getting hands-on is one that I enjoy. And I think this is who Mike Vrabel's been his whole life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this is who he was as a player. Like, he was a leader of men. This is who he was when he was an assistant with Houston. This is who he's been when he was the head coach of Tennessee. Like, they've always talked about him this way. This might be his first time coaching, being a head coach in this game, but this is who he's been his whole life. It's nothing new.
Right.
And I think all players want to be coached. I've heard this thing like, oh, there's hard. Like, you can't coach hard anymore. I don't believe that. I think players, as long as they feel like a man wants what's best, they want me to be the best version of myself.
Right.
If they exude that into you and they build that confidence into you, you can lead anybody. And I think that Mike Vrabel is the epitome of that.
Yeah, Jason, he does it like with a common sense approach, though, because a lot of love we're talking about here, like how he is with the players and the families, and he hugs them in the hallway and all this stuff. But there is a factor of common sense discipline, meaning they know behind the scenes, well, yeah, if you don't do your job, yeah, you won't play. All right, if you aren't good, you won't play. If this guy's better, you will play. That element is still there.
Yeah, and it's like the little details. Like, I just saw a clip right there. Drake Maye's on the sideline. He picks his head up. Like, look at me when I'm coaching you. And it wasn't done in like a disrespectful way. It was done in like, hey, we need to focus and lock in here. It's all those little things. I think this guy is just, he exudes it. It's who he is. There's nothing fraudulent or phony about it. It's not for any ulterior motive to being the best team and the best players we can be.
It's actually interesting that there has been something of a, I'm going to use the word stigma, attached to some of Bill's legendary assistants, right? That when they've gone in other places, they generally haven't had a lot of success, and some people believe it's because they've tried to be Bill.
Yeah.
Here's Vrabel, who played for Bill, so obviously learned whatever it is he did, but is so very much himself, not trying to be, you would obviously know better than anyone would, not trying to replicate the way Bill coached.
And Vrabes had an opportunity early in his coaching career to just go straight to Bill and be on his staff, but that's what he didn't want. He had to experience other voices. He had to experience other places. That's why when he gets a question, and it's all about his time in New England, what does he bring up? He brings up Urban Meyer. He brings up Bill Cowher. He brings up Billy O'Brien. All the places, the people in Tennessee where he has been. He needed all of that. I mean, of course, this guy was never anything like all the way Bill Belichick, even when we played for him, because he was the one that would challenge him with humor and give him a hard time. All of that, it was fun. But still, to round himself out as a coach, going other places, great decision by him.
One more other thing I want to talk about. I talked about Mike Vrabel's impact. We started the show earlier talking about what he did with his team of simulating that halftime, that long halftime, opposed to what we see in the NFC Championship. I want to see today. We know that the New England Patriots, as far as the coaching staff, make some great halftime adjustments. For what he pulled this week of extending practice to try to simulate the halftime,
that's a lot of Bad Bunny,
I want to see how the New England Patriots come out the second half today.
Moss, that was 14 minutes of Bad Bunny. They were in practice. 14 minutes of Bad Bunny.
It's the details.
The halftime is a lot longer.